So Joel Embiid and company, they took a nice little dip in the Pacific Ocean, and then they go out and they beat the Clippers. Now it's time to beat the Lakers tomorrow night. Kyle Gaffner is here. I'm Adrian Fedque. We got a Sixers show. This is the first time all season that we've done this.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, brother. Gotta love talking about basketball. We're just getting into the thick of things. It's kicked off. We haven't had a lot of home games, which is really disappointing to me. I'm kind of missing the center. I want to get down there, but we're going to have a big home stretch coming down. But these late games kind of suck for me a little bit. But I'm willing to have the sleep deprivation to watch my boys play. And great win last night. Much needed win.
Yeah, for sure. And the Sixers are now 7-6 with the most difficult schedule in the league. So unlike, people who try to go at the Eagles, well, you can't go at the Sixers using the schedule argument, can you?
Nope. No, you can't. Yeah, exactly. You can't. They've got a very, very tough schedule. Look at who they play. I mean, you've got Golden State within a week of each other. They play them, this Saturday. They just done playing them. They've played Houston twice. They've played a lot of really tough teams. It's not like it's been a walk in the park. We've had the Celtics as well. So it hasn't really been a lot of gimmies. And we've been close with the good teams, which is a very, very bright future for us. And it's a very good sign as well.
Yeah, and also a good sign after starting, it was 1-4, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 1-4. It was looking shaky, but, I feel like people have settled down a little bit. We're starting to get in a little bit of groove. You see some continuity with the team. We're starting to gel. We're still a very young team, and we still got our number 1 overall pick waiting in the wings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And when we started 1-4, we were both saying, well, like they're 1-4, but they're playing difficult competition. They're in these games. They just couldn't close. Once they figure out how to close these games, then you're going to start rattling off the wins. This is kind of what happened last year in January. In January, that's where everything came together, and then Embiid got hurt. So we're seeing it again. They're 7-6, and they're progressing nicely. It's beautiful. Joel Embiid, 32 points and 16 rebounds against DeAndre Jordan and that other guy.
Love it.
Domination.
I love it. Love the other guy. That was complete intimidation last night. He threw down JoJo. JoJo, got pissed but composed himself. Didn't react. He let his playing do the talking. And I love when he was going after that flagrant foul. He stared down the bench. I loved it. It was kind of like a big F you to the team, like, come at me. You cannot cover me. I'm the best guy on the court right now. But, it's not a coincidence either that we saw some winning these winning ways, because Joel Embiid's starting to come into form. What we saw in January last year, he's starting to get his legs under him.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's key, getting the legs under him, because earlier on in the season he was spending a lot of time along the perimeter. And the reason for that, it's just a way for him to be lazy while playing more minutes, because you got to waste a lot of energy trying to get that post position, trying to get that position down low. And we've seen him bang on the block a little bit. Well, more of that face-up mid-range game that he likes to do. He'll catch the ball with his back to the basket, and then he faces up. That's kind of like how he likes to play. In terms of a back-to-the-basket game, I still want to see some improvements there. There's some improvements he needs to get there, But in terms of that face-up game, I mean, we saw that little spin, the pump fake and the spin on DeAndre Jordan. That was sweet.
Ooh, that was nice. He had a couple really nice dunks, and so did Ben Simmons. God, they were, talk about Lob City. We looked like we were really the Lob City coming into L.A., but, dude, we were getting to the 10, no problem at all. I love the swim move that he has. I would love to see him go more to his back to the basket, because he has such an array of post moves that he really hasn't displayed. He has fallen in love with that jumper. I'd really like to see him cut down on the threes too. He does fall in love with that three-pointer a little too much. I don't mind it if he's making it, but I think he was 1 of 6 from 3 last night. He just loves to see it at the top of the key and pop that J. But, man, he was just unbelievable. How about the one where he was falling off his back leg and he threw it up and it went in? I mean, the guy is just unbelievable. 32 points. I wish he was going to break his career high, but he had a career high in rebounds, and he didn't get in foul trouble for once. We didn't have to worry about Embiid almost fouling out. which has to do with the stamina and getting his legs under him. Played great defense, and I think he played at a season-high 36 minutes last night.
Yeah. I meant to start the show at Robert Covington, and I started with Joel Embiid, and we talked about Ben Simmons, so I'm a failure. But I wanted to show him some love because it's been a long time coming here. You know, I remember when RoCo started the year last year, he started slow. You had the murmurs. Some people wanted Nick Stauskas to start over him. I thought it was always silly. I like RoCo. What he brings to the defensive end is amazing. And then obviously the offensive end is just a plus. 31 points last night. Amazing. So the Sixers were in a stretch where they were, I'm trying to remember what the number was. They were like one of their last 15. It was either one of their last 15 or one of their last 19 from three until RoCo hit that one from the left wing. And that cut it to a 1-point game. If you remember, they got down 94-88, and then they came back. And that was so awesome to see from this team. You know, just keep building. Keep building, keep winning in different ways, and the confidence grows.
He's been huge. He's grown ever since we've picked him up. You know, second-round pick of the Houston Rockets from a very, very small school. Came over.
I remember when he and Kenneth Faried were going at it in Ohio Valley.
Man, see that? A very, very, very small school. And I just love the tenacity that he brings. He's your prototypical Spurs-type player, 3-and-D guy. He used to be a very streaky shooter. This guy would get booed out of the stadium when he would touch the ball in years past. That doesn't happen anymore because this guy is so consistent. It's almost like you expect him to make it every time he takes the shots. I mean, it's incredible. He's improved in his game. He's always had that defensive tenacity, like I said. I don't know what he's doing, whatever juju he's doing, whatever he's doing, if it was JJ or just working in the gym, I love it. He's another guy we can lean on to score and make big baskets in crunch time because this is what we've said since day one. This is the type of players you have to surround Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid with, or guys around the perimeter and can knock down the shots. Because JJ was very inconsistent last night, making his debut back at home for the first time since leaving the Clips.
Yeah, the funny thing is if they make those 3-pointers, it would have been a blowout.
Oh, you know? For sure.
That way.
We were atrocious from downtown last night. Atrocious.
Yeah. They took a dip in the Pacific Ocean, but they couldn't put it in it.
Couldn't hit the left side of a barn, dude. It was bad. But we made the shots when it counted most.
All right, so some stats for you just to show how effective, well, maybe not effective Robert Covington per se, but Robert Covington and Embiid both on the floor together because of that defense. So when they're both on the court, the Sixers outscore opponents 502 to 411. When they're out of the game, both of them, there you go. So it's 1,012 to 902 they're getting outscored. I don't know if that came out right. I kind of stumbled there, but you can see a big difference there.
Huge, a huge difference. And we can't be doing this all season, even though these are very, very young players that we have there. If you continue to really ride your horses like you will, they're going to get kind of worn out towards the end of the season. So we really need some bench production. I don't know if we have to go out there and make a trade. I was hoping maybe Eric was very interested in bringing in Eric Bledsoe, but we need some more firepower off of that bench. And I think it does make sense for Dario to come off the bench and be that assertive offensive player because look at it. I think out of our bench, we scored 12 points, which is not going to get it done. You look at the Clippers. It happened against, I want to say Utah, scored 56 points off their bench to our 17. Dude, just pathetic. We need more production out of the bench. It's just not getting it done. But where's it going to come from? That's where Markelle Fultz getting healthy. He would be a really, really nice option to go along with Dario. But there's positives that come along with Dario playing in the starting unit too. I think he did a pretty prolific job against Griffin last night. He made that huge pass to RoCo in the left wing. He didn't show it. That won't come up in the stats, because I think he only scored 2 points, 3 rebounds, what have you. But that was a huge assist to hit RoCo with the open shot to bring us within one.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what I love about when Ben and Embiid play together? When they run that pick and roll and you got Embiid rolling to the basket, just how much attention he commands. And then you got a 6'10 Simmons along the wing, who obviously he's tall enough to make any skip pass he wants to.
Mhm.
So if you come and converge on Embiid, that leaves the corner open. Whoop! Skip pass. Triple.
Awesome. And there was that one play when it was both Ben and Joel under the basket, and Ben was going around, and he kind of made it look like he was going to go for the dunk, but he just kind of like shovel passed it to Embiid, and he got that nice bucket. That's what you love to see. And I swear Ben Simmons is 7 foot because he looks a lot bigger than 6'10". He looks almost as tall as Joel Embiid. I mean, it's insane. For somebody to have the skill set at his size, it just amazes you to see him play like that. I love to see the assertiveness out of Ben Simmons too. He's been very aggressive on the offensive end, which you love to see. Him and JoJo, I think, other than like 1 or 2 games, he's had almost a double-double in every game.
Yeah. And just to offer a different perspective on the whole jump shot thing, right? I think when LeBron is at his best is when he doesn't even shoot.
Mm-hmm.
When he's absolutely aggressive, he's not settling for jumpers. He's attacking the rim. So Ben Simmons really doesn't need a jump shot, does he? He can get to the rim at will whenever he wants to. Not only did he have 7 dunks yesterday, he also had those 2 drives to the basket, which were absolutely beautiful. Those spin moves and the layup at the 10. He can get to the basket at will. And by God, if he starts knocking down 18-footers, he will be unstoppable.
He was. And if it's not, broken, don't fix it. You can continue to go to the 10 because nobody can stop him. Teams haven't shown that they've been able to do that. That move you're talking about where he pirouetted.
Oh,
if I think I'm saying it, that was an unbelievable move. And it looked like he just did it with ease. And that's a very, very hard play to make. I mean, it may look so effortless from him, but that was a very, very tough shot to make. And I love to see him nail them free throws in crunch time. Yep. 60% at the line. And to ice the game, Simmons goes in there, knocks down both free throws, and gets us to win. And JoJo last night from the line. We were talking about this, prior to the season coming too, during preseason. How effective would it be if Embiid was going to the line 16 to 17 times? Yeah. That's what you need to do. They're easy points. You just want to see him knock them down. And at 80%, him missing both back-to-back free throws. I mean, 2 chicken sandwiches the Clip for fans got last night. I was hoping when I was at the last Sixers game, we were all hoping to get some chicken sandwiches. And JoJo, hooked them guys up last night twice. But I'd love to see him really sink them shots because he's got a really, really nice touch at the ball.
Yeah, and getting to the free throw line, that's the other thing. When you're hanging along the perimeter, you're not going to draw as many fouls. And if you're drawing fouls against your, the guy you're going up against, like a DeAndre Jordan or something, get him out of the game, and then you get a guy like Willie Reed on you, and then you just bull him. That's what you got to do if you're Joel. So it's great that he has the 3-point shot, but it's something that he has in the bag. It's a complimentary piece, but it's not something you should go too often. It's something, okay, you want to shoot the ball, sometimes fine. But, we saw at times, obviously earlier this season, where he relied on it way too much.
And I don't know if that is just because he wasn't at full strength. He said last night he's only at 50%. Can you imagine what he's going to be like if he's feeling 100%? But I think that might have to do with something like that. Maybe he's just not fully there. The energy's not fully there. So it's effortless, a lot more effortless to just throw the ball up and, than play bully ball. And it was huge to get a DeAndre Jordan out of there because he's their best defensive player. He can knock shots away, swat shots. So by taking an element of their game out, by taking out their best defensive player, you're able to just go to the 10 at will for guys that don't have the skill set of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. So that was huge. Another thing that's not going to show up in the game or the stat sheets is getting those 2 guys out, knocking out their 2 centers was very, very big for that win last night.
Yeah. So going back to some of the other games on this West Coast swing, the Kings game was bad. That was bad. Really bad transition defense throughout the night too, and Embiid was like jogging throughout the game. That was the game. I think he played like 32 minutes. That was the game he shouldn't have played 32 minutes if you're jogging.
Yeah,
you clearly weren't in game shape.
No,
that one.
He was very, very sluggish, and you could tell by the end of the game where he got blocked by Willie Cauley-Stein that he wasn't at full strength there. And that's where having your legs under you is really, really going to help. And what really bites us, and it continues to bite us, it did it last night, is the turnovers.
Yeah, they're turning the ball over a lot.
Oh God, I know we're number one in the league by turning the ball over, or let's say the bottom, whichever way you want to look at it. We're the worst in the NBA, and we're the worst at bailing teams. So we bail teams out. I mean, against Indiana, they went to the line, I believe, 33 times. You can't do that. Or no, I'm sorry, Utah.
I know what you meant.
It was one of those. I can't. They all jive together because their teams are always going to the line. 20 plus times. But we really got to cut down on that. You're still a young team. You're gonna go through growing pains. But it's just the ones that you just hold your head that are just pointless turnovers. And it was happening a lot with JoJo and Ben Simmons. Yeah. Combined in Golden State, I think they had 11 or 12 turnovers. You can't have your two best players turning the ball over that much.
Yeah, and going back to the Utah game, that was a game that I'm actually going to look at it positively because they didn't play well. But the fact that they won the game while not playing well, that kind of shows me something too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was big. And we didn't have JoJo either. So that was team continuity. It was very, very sloppy ball, but we were able to come up in key points and just shut the game out. Dario was very big in that game. That was really the game I can think of that he really shined in. And I would like to see more of that through there. And I still think Brett Brown's still going to have to shuffle the lineups to, go game in and game out, whatever matches up best, whatever team we're playing. But I really think you got to move Dario now to the bench because it's going to get very, very scary if our bench production is only going to be 12 to 15 points a game.
And this is why we were saying before the season that Dario should have been coming off the bench initially. So it was. But now they're kind of starting in the last couple games. All right. Big Ja. Let's get into him just a little bit. What the hell? Okay. So I can I'm trying to look at it from the BC perspective. I guess he doesn't want to buy him out because he doesn't want to see him go to Boston. And if he goes to Boston and he does well, that makes BC look like an idiot. That's why I'm assuming he's still on this roster.
Yeah, and he wants to get something for him. That's definitely what it is. You just don't want to get – I mean, Joel –
well, you're not going to get anything if he doesn't play.
Exactly. That is where it's a double-sided sword is what is going on, BC. You don't want to give him away for free, but you also have to play somebody. Nobody's going to want a guy on the bench that doesn't play. And it made him look even worse when he did play that game. When JoJo was out in Utah, and he looked horrible. But it's not Ja's fault. He hasn't played. There's no, he's not in game time shape. He had 3 quick fouls. I believe he had 2 quick turnovers back to back. I mean, he looked atrocious. So you're even hurting his value more, I believe, by sitting him. And then when JoJo's not playing him sparingly. You got to really work him into the rotation. And it gets me because every time he's a DMP, they say he has a respiratory infection.
Yeah.
I mean, he's healthy. He's got a respiratory infection. We know that's a bunch of BS from BC. We know how slick and sly that little rat is. I don't believe, Josh got a respiratory infection. So you got to get the guy out there. Work him in the rotation. You want some value? Get that kid out in the court and let's play some ball. Hey, Amir Johnson is what he is, but he can't score the basketball.
Amir Johnson, no.
To make up for his offensive efficiency.
Boggles my mind.
I don't get it.
It's like when LeGarrette Blount didn't get any carries in week 2. It boggles my mind.
I don't know what's going through their mind. I don't know if it's because he's vet and he can play some gritty D. He's going to give you some hard fouls out there. But it's very frightening to see when he gets the ball, he bobbles it. He missed at least 3 dunks this year. He has a problem getting the ball in the basket. And even when he's wide open, he misses shots. I just think he goes to him because he's a gritty defensive player. I would really like to see Rashawn Holmes in that right there. Work it in between him and Big Ja. Because if you're saying Ja's got defensive problems, well, Amir's got offensive problems. So how do you weigh it out? Which is more troublesome?
I feel terrible for Ja too. It's like He got himself in shape.
Yeah.
He became a vegan. He's nice and lean. He tried to fit into the system. He tried, and they're not even giving him an opportunity. Like, that's literally a kick in the balls. He might as well just all offseason just went and ate ice cream.
Hey, he should have just stuck to being Doughboy. You know,
Yeah.
he really should have, because he's put himself in the same situation. He's worked hard. He looked decent in preseason. Give the kid a chance. He's trying to buy in and be a part of this process, and you're not letting him. And the reason, BC's not wanting to give Ja away and just cut him, you don't forget he's a number 3 overall pick. So there is some talent there. It's not like this guy's some schlub, some scrub. He can play some basketball. He just got a little bit of an issue playing defense. But get him out there. Give the kid a chance.
I mean, I can understand he's not really fit here because, the pace and space style that they play, the fast break style, he's not going to go up and down the court. Even lean Ja, vegan Ja, I don't think you could keep up.
No.
But there is definitely some talent there. And on a team that likes to slow it down a little bit more, that's kind of where you want him to go. I mean, even a terrible team, like just to see what he's got, throw a second-round pick at the Sixers just to see what he can provide you. If you think you see enough, maybe you give him an extension or something. I don't know, like the Suns, or I don't fucking know. Actually, the Suns really don't need him, but just a bottom dweller, Yeah. Somebody. There's got to be somebody. But is BC not going to take a second-round pick? Is that what's going on?
That's what it is. When, I had read an article saying that he was expecting at least a first-round pick for Ja.
Well, that's not now.
No, I think that's a little too much. It's like we've waited too long, kind of like we did with the whole Nerlens Noel situation. We waited a little too long on Ja, and now we're just put in the situation. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you can't really get any value for him, so you're basically just going to let him walk or get – teams are going to come out here and lowball us. There's no way you're going to get a first-round pick for Jahlil Okafor. It's just not going to happen. But you could better your chances in possibly getting a high second rounder or maybe a low first rounder if you play the kid and see what we've got, because some team isn't going to take a chance. Look at Grindhouse. There are teams that still play slow-paced half-court basketball. Yeah. They did it for years over at the Grindhouse. They've changed their mentality a little bit. They're trying to pick up pace between, pace and space. And follow the whole NBA, but there are teams out there. Maybe Portland would take a chance on them. Somebody, Boston.
Chicago's going to be the team. I think that's going to be the team. And the Grindhouse would have been a perfect destination for Ja like 2 to 3 years ago. For his low post moves, Mr. Twinkle Toes, as they call him. But I remember last year, the deal was, what was it, Valentine and a second-round pick from Chicago. That's what it was. And I was like, let's just wait. Let's let Ja play, and let's trade him during the draft. Oh, man, I wish we would have traded him then.
It just seems like we keep saying that, right? Oh, we'll wait till then. We'll wait till the draft. We'll wait till next offseason. And it just keeps getting pushed back to where the kid's just going to not have a contract and run out of his rookie deal. I mean, we're at that juncture at this point. It's crazy that we've been talking about this since we've drafted him. And then people come out here and say that whole jersey ordeal, like he never wanted to play here because he threw his jersey down on. You remember that video?
Yeah.
I mean, people are really reaching there for one. But, it's ridiculous, the situation. I really feel bad for Ja. I don't know if this has to do with his dad also really getting in the ear of management and coaching, flying all the way out and bugging the organization. Are they punishing Ja because of his dad's actions? I mean, we really don't know what's going on in this underlying ordeal. But Chicago would be great. He's from Chicago, from Chi-Town. They're in a rebuilding mode right now. Bobby Portis might be on the way out after beating up his teammate.
I don't want Bobby Portis.
No, I'm just saying, they probably don't want to. And he would be a perfect fit with Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah. I like me some Lauri Markkanen.
I mean, on that team, you look at it, who would you really want? There were talks that, what is this, Nico
Mirotic? Yeah. Well, he doesn't want to be back there now because of that Portis.
Yeah.
Mirotic, they were talking about throwing him in the deal last year too. That was another guy. Hey, at this point, I'd take it. Take anything, please.
Something.
Even if it's a goddamn just one jelly bean.
Yeah. Something. I would take anything for Ja. Right. If it was a used gym towel, something. I don't care what it is. Let's get something over here. Valentine and no Mirotic, guys that can shoot three. I mean, you think about who's on that roster. I don't know many guys anymore that's on Chicago. They tried to do a quick patch with Dwayne Wade and Rajon Rondo. Obviously, that didn't work. So they're starting to do what we did. Rip it all down and you build from the ground up. But I'm hoping that is the destination, and we could get something going with Ja.
Yeah. All right, so we kind of forgot to talk about this. I think we did. The RoCo extension. So they're allowed to begin the negotiations tomorrow, and by God, what a perfect time to set a career high of 31 points.
What a perfect time to really become one of the most consistent shooters in the NBA. He's third in percentages under, believe it or not, Aaron Gordon is a tick above him. Which is a surprise to me, and then C.J. McCollum out there in Portland. For him to be shooting, 46% or something, he was a career average of like 32, 30, or 37% in years past. So what a huge jump, but it's just like Michael Kendrick with the Eagles. Contract time comes up, and they're playing out of their mind. I love it. Pay that man. He deserves it. He's a part of this process. He's been from day one. You got to pay RoCo. You have to. He's a great piece to this organization and the process.
And the great thing about RoCo's emergence, we can get rid of that Feds nickname. Please get rid of it. Add RoCo to the mix.
Sure. If you remember that picture when I was coming out, RoCo was in that. So we could have a very, very decent starting five. I just want to get Fultz healthy. That checkup is coming up soon, and I'm hoping that shoulder is good to go. Because I really want to see what we got out of our number one overall pick from Washington there.
Yeah, for real. Because, we got the guy on Philly Influencer. They call him the Yerker, Tony Catello. He's already saying he's a bust.
Oh, stop.
He's that guy.
Come on, no way. Way too early.
Well, he was like you. He loves Jason Tatum. And he was like, oh, so they got the better player at our pick.
I was a big fan of Tatum at 3. I wouldn't have taken him at number 1.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
It would have been a great pick at number 3 there. But, the chips fell where they may, and we're going to see what happens. You don't really know. I still think Fultz is going to be a superstar. I really do. He's got a little bit of James Harden in him. If he can be an inkling of what James Harden is, to add with Ben Simmons, I mean, look at the strides that Ben Simmons has taken. I mean, God, the guy is just, I can't say enough. I mean, just gush watching this dude play. And it's funny because he said he's learned more with the Sixers than he ever did at LSU. And you always talk about how poorly of a coach he had down there in Louisiana. It's a shame, but I think he's a shoo-in to win Rookie of the Year, and I can't wait for this game on Wednesday. The battle between Ball and freaking Simmons, because they were talking about Lonzo Ball being the clear runaway to win Rookie of the Year, and it doesn't look like that. I mean, people are jumping off the ship saying he's a bust. Way too early to say that. I think Lonzo Ball is going to be a very, very good player in this league. But tension's just building. We're out there in LA, in the city of the starlight, the stars. What's that?
The city of angels.
The city of angels. Hollywood, the glitz, the glamour. You got LiAngelo Ball, fresh out of prison.
You have all the money in the world, and you're stealing shit in China. What an idiot!
I don't get it.
Pick out of the week, LiAngelo Ball.
I mean, hey, maybe there's something we're missing. Maybe that's how the rich stay rich, bro. It's got to be. But, yeah, I was looking on the calendar when they play the Lakers. I can't wait till they play them here at the Wells Fargo Center, too. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great, great, great battle.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the minority here. I like LeVar Ball. I think he's hilarious.
I don't mind LeVar Ball either.
If you gotta understand why he's doing what he's doing. He's just a hype man, and he's a genius for doing it. Now he's calmed down now because Magic has has him on a string. So he's been acting accordingly. But I didn't hate Lonzo Ball coming out. I kind of agree with you. I think he's going to be a pretty good player. He's shown things, but he also shown that his jump shot has been inconsistent. But overall, I mean, he had his first triple-double the other night. I don't hate him.
He's not a player that's gonna drop 25 to 30 points.
No, he's not.
He's a throwback player from about 25 years ago. Not even 25 years ago. He's a pure point guard. He's going to be a guy that's going to spread the ball around and be your floor general. That's what he is. Don't expect him. And I don't know if that's because of what he did in those 2 preseason games where he went off and he shot the three at an astronomical number. I forget what it was. He hit like 8 or 9 threes or some crazy crap like that where he dropped 30. But he's definitely a building piece. Magic Johnson, I believe, when he first came in the league, didn't really blow the lid off of anything either. It took a little time for him to really develop into what he was in a Hall of Fame player. It's very rare that you have – oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm rambling.
No, you're not rambling. It's fine. Sometimes you have guys that start slow. It doesn't mean they're busts. They just figure – sometimes it takes longer for some to figure it out. That's all.
We've been spoiled with players like – Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. That is why. Not everybody's going to be an 18-year-old superstar. And Kobe struggled when he came into the league. He wasn't. He wasn't lighting the world on fire with Charlotte. Yeah. And even with the Lakers, he wasn't. So it just takes some time to develop. God, he's 19 years old.
He was a freshman coming out of high school, or
college.
Freshman coming out of college.
Yeah, give him some time.
He's 19 out of high school, baby.
Oh, yeah. They're talking about bringing that back.
Good. I think the college game sucks right now with that one-and-done stuff.
It does.
You're having kids that are just lollygagging through the season. They don't care.
No, they're just preparing. They don't want to hurt themselves. Kind of what you see in college football now, too, with the top prospects not playing in their bowl games.
Yeah. I hate that.
I hate it, too. It's a shame, but I do get it.
I get it. Yeah, I just love bowl season, and I love football. And I just hate that they don't play.
I'm with you, dude. I'm 100% that way. Now, if they do get rid of the one and done, don't you feel like a bunch of kids are just going to water – I feel like this would water the league down. That's why they changed it, because all these kids are trying to come out of high school, and there was a lot more busts than there were success stories coming out of high school. The Sebastian Telfairs, the Darius Miles. God, dude, there's so many. Sean Livingston came straight out of high school. And so Sweet Lou. How about Sweet Lou last night? Another guy that came out of high school. Mm-hmm. I loved Lou Williams when he was here. The dude can just flat out score. Hence why he's won a 6 Man of the Year award when he was up there in Toronto. We need a player like that coming off of our bench. And I would love to see Sweet Lou come back to Philly to rejoin and join the process. All right.
All right, let's see. What else we got? I think that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, no.
I got a topic. Actually, I got a topic because Eric gave me something last night. So, LeBron, would you take him in Philly? Would you want him?
As you know, you know my feelings about LeBron. Not the biggest fan. I actually flat out despise the dude. But
I know you do. Because it's funny because I always make fun of you when you say something bad about it. I'm like, oh, dude, that's biased, man. I don't hate LeBron. I don't love him either. I'm like in the middle. I respect his greatness.
It's not that I don't mind him as a basketball player.
You hate his semantics and his immaturity.
Exactly. That's what I don't like about LeBron. But they're prima donnas. There's a lot in this. You see in other sports, like Cam Newton's the same way. But to join the process in his career, I wouldn't mind it because he could kind of help groom Ben Simmons because they're prototypical player. I mean, that is freaking LeBron James however long ago when he came to the league in 2003. And I think he's trained with LeBron over the summer last year, and I think it showed. His game has kind of shown through a little bit in Ben Simmons. So, sure, bring him here to kind of groom the kid. I wouldn't mind having LeBron here. He could probably help us in his later stage of his career.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Eric sent me a pitch, and I thought it was really how he pitched it was really good. Trying to find it in the messages. So while I look, I'll try and think of another topic off the top of my head.
But then you can look at it too, where he could really turn up the locker room too. He could be a cancer and kind of dismantle it, because not to say that what happened between him and Kyrie and then Cleveland, we've seen in previous years what he's done from organization to organization, what kind of turmoil was left. But you don't know what happens there. But that's where the immaturity and the stuff I don't like about LeBron comes into play. So do you really want him up? We got a really great locker room. I feel like, everybody brings good energy, and everything fits into place. And bringing in a prima donna like LeBron, I don't know. That's where I could kind of lean towards not wanting him here. I don't think he would come here anyway, to tell you the truth.
He may not, but I'll tell you what, I'd like some rings. So
that if he could help bring a ring here, because of his experience, he's been to 7 finals.
I mean, if he wants to beat the Warriors, it's easier to do it in the East than the West. So you go to the Sixers. All you really have to play is Boston. That's all you would have to worry about. So, all right. So here's Eric's pitch, and I thought this was good. So you can go to LA to make movies. You can go to Houston or the Spurs, and you might win a ring. But if you want to end your chapter catching the ghost of MJ, it starts here. You can do what MJ and Kobe never did and leave your legacy impact on Ben and Embiid. They'll be winning after you're gone. But it will be because of you. Sign your name here and fulfill your declaration of not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7.
Yeah.
Some beautiful words from our boy Eric.
Man, Eric does have a way where he's a wordsmith over there. Jeez, dude, he can write for Hallmark and stuff too. This guy needs to get a new. This is what you should be doing for a living, Eric. Right there. Be a beat writer or something. That was nice, for sure.
Yeah, that was good.
That was really good.
Yeah, so we got the LeBron talk in there. I mean, I would take him in a heartbeat, but that's me. I feel like he has matured a little bit over years. I mean, he's 32 now. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a little bit different now. In terms of the whole Kyrie situation, I think Kyrie's just a little bit weird. I don't think it was because of LeBron. I think Kyrie's just got a different mindset, all right? He thinks the world is flat, okay? He thinks the earth is flat. He's an idiot, so he's a dingbat. So he thinks a little bit differently than the rest of them. So he wanted to have his own team. He wanted to be the star, all that. So that's why I went to Boston. I don't think it was because of LeBron.
You don't know it, but I definitely agree with you there. I think Kyrie you learn a lot about Kyrie after the situation. I never thought there was any beef between them two. And then over the summer, you see him at, I forget whose wedding it was. He was roasting LeBron about his workout videos. And all this hate came out of nowhere. It was kind of weird. It was like Kyrie was a little bit two-faced. So I could kind of get behind you and agree with that for sure.
Yeah, and then it was weird because on opening night they hugged each other.
Yeah, I know. It was. I think that was just.
Was that like a fake hug, or or was that for TV?
I think it was for TV and the cameras, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, and then after the game, we're like, motherfucker.
Yeah, like screw you, screw this, screw that. We'll make nicey nice. You don't know if that came up from up top, like you guys better not start this, turmoil or what have you. But I think it adds to a rivalry, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of someone, but I'm not going to name names.
But how about Brett Brown though? And it's okay. This is why I want to bring a question up. Now, I've always thought this ever since I started watching basketball. You're up, and this happened last night. We were up by, I think it was 3.
Yeah.
Now, when they're taking the ball up with no timeouts, I am all in favor of just automatically fouling somebody so they cannot get the 3-point shot up to tie the game. Because if you figure you foul them, they get 2 foul shots, then you get the ball back. It doesn't matter because they can't tie the game with only 2 foul shots. You know what I mean? So I'm all in favor of always doing that. And I would just wanted to have your thoughts on that and other people's thoughts. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I actually do agree with that. But you do have to, at the same time, you do have to be careful of when you foul. You can't get too cute with it where you're fouling somebody from beyond the arc. So you got to do it like at midcourt, before they can even think about getting a shot off. And especially when you got a guy like Joel Embiid who's just going to snatch the defensive rebound, like wherever the ball's going to go. So I totally agree with that strategy. Foul, and then make your free throws at the other end.
It makes perfect sense because you've seen it and how many times where it's kind of bit you. It's bit teams in the ass by not doing it. With the Spurs and the Heat brought it to mind for one when they were when Ray Allen hit that shot. Now, if they were to foul somebody, that never would have happened, and they would have won another championship. But I'm all in favor for doing that, and Abden Abbey talked about that too. But right, you got to make sure you don't do it while they're in the shooting motion, especially now with these new rules where, God, dude, you breathe on somebody and they get a foul.
Yeah.
What is up with that? Have you noticed that in our games too? We are not getting the calls, man. There was a lot of BS calls called on Ben last night for hanging on the rim, which I thought was crap. There was somebody laying under him. You just want to fall on him so he can break his ankle? Like, come on. Stop with this ticky-tack crap. This is from Adam Silver, bro. He hates us so much. He's trying to do everything to destroy the process.
Needle dick.
Sorry. It just makes me so mad when I see that crap. So frustrating.
Well, I mean, hey, he could have let go of the rim, gave him a leg drop, or maybe an elbow drop.
That's what I'm saying. And he probably would have got a flagrant for it. I mean, there's been so many calls not going in our favor.
Did you see the other call, too, where he got called for delayed game because Austin Rivers ran into him?
It was a joke. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what is going on? This is coming up from up top. I'm telling you, Adam Silver is putting a price tag on our head for sure. He hates Sam Hinkie and he hates the Sixers so much. Conspiracy theory that he's trying to do everything to tear down the process. Well, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen, Squidward, because we're going to win a championship whether you like it or not.
There you go, Squidward. Squidward's better than Needle Dick. Needle Dick is for Thomas. That Needle Dick is for Thomas.
He does look like Squidward, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Adam Silver is a freaking Squidward for sure.
Freaking Thomas.
Him or Mayor Nutter, either one. Take your pick.
Thomas will hear from me later in the week when I have Philly 500 on. So he's
there it is.
Hey, like all he's got is V-neck. Like that's the best he's got. Like, come on, man. You're gonna go after my appearance because you can't go after my knowledge because I'm too smart for you. All right, cool, man. Keep disliking my videos. Cool, man. Cool. Fucking loser. like I literally baited him a week ago, wherever it was, the Sixers video. Actually, that was like a month ago. So I was curious to see just how obsessed he was. And I went through commenting 40 minutes into the video just to see if he would bite. And he did. What a loser.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Calm down.
Hey,
calm.
Hey, I am calm. But, like, dude, Sean Brace rejected you. You're not good enough. You weren't good enough to come on our show. Sorry. End of story. Done. It's over. Let it go. It was over a year ago. Like, Jesus. Fuck, man. All right, final thoughts. You got anything else?
That was kind of my final thought just about the fouling towards the end of the game when it's such a close margin. One more thing. I liked how towards the end of the game, Brett Brown actually used his timeouts and drew up a play. He learned from his mistake from the previous game. So I'd love to see that, Brett. Continue to do it. I'm still a firm believer that Brett Brown is the coach to lead us to the promised land and coach this young team and bring the process up to winning a championship. And I love that edge from JoJo. Keep it up, JoJo. Keep ragging and shit talking.
I had a stat written down. I can't find it. But it shocked me because the Sixers were like second in the NBA in points per possession after timeouts.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
I didn't know that.
I don't know what the exact number is. I'll have to find it.
See, you look at those great stats like that. We're second in the league in assists. I mean, the ball movement.
I meant to bring that up. Yeah, I meant to bring that up. They're sharing the basketball wonderfully.
It's amazing. You insert Ben Simmons, you really can see what he can do when he's orchestrating. And I love when he moves to power forward and TJ's in there. I don't know if I've ever talked about that, but I love when those two are, both on the court. TJ being the floor general, and then you get to see Ben at the power forward position.
Yeah.
Plays great defense. I just can't say enough about Ben Simmons, dude. I mean, he gets better every game. Just every game. And that one assist from Justin Anderson, where he was able to corral it and then throw it behind his back for the dunk. That was a crazy play, dude. Because it didn't look like he was going to be able to get it up. I thought he was going to be able to set his feet and then jump up for an easy layup. But he able to corral it and then throw it behind his back.
Great play. Great play. Absolutely. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we head out?
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay. All right.
I've rambled enough.
It's all good. It's all good. I just love trolls, man. The funniest thing is they invited me on the show. Of course they want me on the show. They need ratings.
I was like, wait, what are you talking about? I was like, Sixers? I was like, I didn't know what you were talking about. Now I know what you're talking about.
Well, don't worry. Philly 5. I'm going to ask Philly 500 if he thinks that they actually had a source. He got called out by everybody in Philadelphia, and he couldn't handle it.
Uh-oh.
He did. Well, I got the evidence. It's coming on Thursday. Whenever we do our Bitter Dingbat show. So he's going to get the attention that he craves. He's going to get it. And everyone's going to see just how much of a fucking idiot this guy is. So, it's like he calls himself the best in the business, and he can't even fucking make a simple report. Doesn't even know journalism 101. It's pathetic. All right, we're out. Peace. Thomas, the worst in the business.